So yes, I got my hand caught in the cookie jar, and part of this channel has always been saying my mess ups and how I'm going to fix them. There's a war in crypto going on. It's like cats and dogs. It's like the Wild West. It's like cops and robbers. It's wild out there. There's a lot going on. You got to keep up with it daily. There's a lot of new regulation that's going to start coming out. There's just a lot to focus on right now. And I'm going to try to do this video in one take. I got a lukewarm cup of coffee and crypto is tanking right now. So I want to tell you what I'm going to do, my thoughts, really what kind of is going on in a nutshell without making a 2-hour-long video. And if you're owning crypto, you got to be thinking about this. And if you're owning stocks, you got to be thinking about this. If you're owning real estate and you've been following along my channel, this is all coming into one big pile of you know what to figure out. So let's get into it. What's going to happen with crypto? It's getting worse. My plan. Let's go. So yesterday, my buddy called me at lunch and he was like, hey, are you watching the market? And crypto had absolutely just hit the floor. And this guy came across the TV, Sam Bankman-Fried. Those that know him know that everything he has touched is in question right now. Everything he will ever touch probably will never happen anymore. And he has lost like $14 billion in a matter of like 30 seconds. So if you're following along, you know that the Fed has been trying to break something, and it's been driving down the stock market, and crypto has been following the S&P 500 pretty much in step. It hasn't decoupled, it hasn't leveraged away. I made a video on buying crypto about a year ago, year and a half ago, and I wanted to update y'all with what's happening with my crypto and what I think I'm going to do. So we know that Alameda Research is in trouble. We know FTX is in trouble. And we know CZ, the man at Binance, saw a soft spot on the balance sheet of FTX, Alameda Research, and basically saw they were leveraging themselves to oblivion. See, he saw this whole CoinDesk made it public. And when everybody saw their balance sheet, they realized they were pretty much insolvent. And if you watch Andre Jink's video on the infinite money loop, where you can basically have an exchange, have a company, create a token, use that token to borrow against, to buy regular assets, you find this big loop, circular idea of infinite money, and you can just keep doing that. Well, CZ saw this, and there's a war going on in crypto. It has to do, I think, between decentralization and centralization. I think that Sam Bankman-Fried knows regulation has to happen in the US for people to feel safe with crypto, just like the SEC and, you know, our stock market and public offerings. They know for institutional investors to come in and buy large amounts of crypto, which will actually really affect the price of it, that we have to have some regulatory wording for any bank to touch it, or any Commonwealth fund like the Saudis to come in by billions a day. There's got to be some type of tangible regulation. The big oil families over there in the Middle East are not going to buy something that does not satisfy the SEC, because when you are making billions of dollars a day, the only place to put that money is in the S&P 500. Got to be able to do it. So they're not going to come around and start buying crypto and get their hands spanked by the SEC. It gets really complicated. But we have CZ that wants kind of a decentralized exchange idea, because we also saw the war you know where over there. And if you track the immediate moments when the US decided to turn off the SWIFT banking system or anything to do with the people from the country with R, I don't want to get in trouble in this video, we saw how people's assets can be gone just like that if you had anything to do with being a citizen of that country or those countries. It really said, okay, how are we going to hold any type of asset safe from oversight of a foreign power, or to be able to flee from one spot with all your wealth? And crypto was the only really way to answer this question. It's not putting all the gold on a tiny little airplane and fleeing the country, because the airplane will never take off. Or dollars, because you put it on a little airplane, you can't take billions of dollars with you. It's just not feasible, and the banks froze everything. So Fried was wanting to basically keep, you know, some type of centralization where they can kind of control the asset. Being said that they created a token, blah, 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 and now they're insolvent because everybody saw they were insolvent, drove the coin down to nothing, really by rumors. Now he's lost all his money, and here's where we are in the crypto world. I try to say that as plainly as possible. A lot more things going on there. We are seeing the market figuring itself out. I believe that in the capitalist world, you let the open market figure itself out, and ultimately the choice of people over time will find the best product. But see, this is just my opinion, and I still go by not your keys, not your crypto. Don't hang your money on the exchange. Put it on a ledger, put it on a cold wallet, hot wallet, however you want to do it. Don't leave it with the exchange. These things are still figuring themselves out, and there's not a lot of oversight, just like the old days. So just, you know, think about that when you're putting your money out there. As soon as you buy them, you get them off. Also, if you have anything in some of these stable coins, I would really move it or change it into something like Bitcoin or Ether and get it out of there, because these things are coming undocked on the reg now. My plan, I think I went over that strong enough. My plan is, I know there's a lot of weakness in this. I've only been in this game of crypto for about a year and a half. I got into it to learn, because let me tell you, crypto is software. You're buying a software tech, software company. You're buying ideas of projects that will become something one day. 95% of them will die, but I have learned as an investor, back when I was buying social media companies, back in the day, when they first came out, and I heard all this noise before, that I think the big ones will survive, Bitcoin and Ethereum. They will become something. I think Bitcoin will be a store of gold, because I've yet to see another way to store wealth on a little bitty drive or in my head, and instead of having gold that I have to put in a giant safe or certificates from somewhere. Let me tell you, if they want to inflate gold, they can do it. They'll either dig more, or they will run paper off on it, and they will just leverage it to the hilt. It can be fluctuated just as much as a stock or crypto. So don't think that just because you hold precious metals that the price of that can't be skewed. It totally can. It's happened before, and they could just outlaw it. Just like they could just outlaw crypto. They've outlawed gold before. They've outlawed silver before, and you physically got to store it somewhere, and if you have to evacuate to somewhere else, hurricane, national disaster, or some type of forced armed takeover, you're not going to be trucking with your rucksack full of gold or silver, or buying a potato with a flake of gold. Just not happening. I see Bitcoin as being the idea of a store of value once it figures itself out, still very young. And I see Ether having a tangible, make sure you're understanding the idea of cold storage, ledgers, treasures, however you decide to go about it. Focus on that. Make sure you're protecting yourself on these exchanges. Learn as much as you can. This is a new toy that investors are trying to figure out. This is a new toy that bankers are trying to figure out. There are no experts in this field. There's guys that's made lots of money, most of them by accident. There's people that understand some of it. And then there's the hackers in here trying to take advantage and exploit everything. You also have bankers and banks taking advantage of exchanges and driving the price of stuff up and down. This is the Wild West figuring itself out. And don't think that, oh, it's volatile. Let me tell you, have you seen the volatility of the S&P 500? Have you seen the volatility of Amazon, Apple, Tesla, any of these other tech stocks? Look at Meta, look at Twitter, look at any of these other stocks out there. They are volatile too. And don't let the financial advisors tell you that you're buying something safe. Stock market's down 20% as of right now. We're seeing a bear rally right now because of the CPI data, what it was today. It's still very high. It's still not tamed, and interest rates are still going to go up until we see 2% inflation, which means the stock market's not going anywhere, in my opinion. Not a financial advisor, just a dude on YouTube talking about his opinion. And final thought, Alex Becker was not far from it when he said that if you think the insolvency of these crypto exchanges are something, or crazy or bad, well, you haven't seen anything compared to what the banks are doing here with dollars. If you think that these banks are not insolvent, you're kidding yourself. And you think that the FDIC is going to come in and save you, Go read the fine print of the FDIC. One, you can't have more than $250,000 in an account unless you add beneficiaries and a lot of payable on death type things, and it's still only to a certain amount. Okay, if you have a high net worth, you got to have multiple bank accounts, and if they go down at multiple institutions, it's a real problem. And if they go down, the odds of getting your money in a timely fashion is really few and far between, especially if many people go down at the same time. Credit unions, same thing. Read into it. Understand how the monetary system works, and if we have another broken moment, you're going to see some of these banks go belly up just like in 2008. So I want to make this video. These are my thoughts on this. This is what I'm doing. I will continue to buy. I understand the projects. I understand the coins. I like the idea, and I will have a position in it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is why, this is my opinion. You can call it crazy. You can call it whatever you want. But crypto's not going anywhere. It's just going to figure itself out. Comment down below your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is just my opinion. I'll see you guys in the next video.